Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, I want to talk about what the most important feeling in the world is. But before I begin, please hit subscribe below and hit the bell for notifications so you know when I put out a new video. And please share and like to help others that might be really needing a little help in getting through their journey as well. Now, what is the best feeling in the world? Now, I truly believe it's just not being ashamed of being a cancer patient and a survivor. And really just not being ashamed of cancer all around. Now there's three things I want to go over here, and the reason is I think it can really help some of you that are just really starting through this journey to just have a little bit of hope and let you know that there's a lot of us out there that are going through this, and that we have gone through it, and even some of us going through it a second and third time, maybe even more. But each time that we go through this, or for the first time that you go through this, there's always things to learn. There's always things to experience and understand as a cancer patient and as a cancer survivor. So what do you do? What can you do? And those three things, the first one is really understanding the stigma, and that the stigma doesn't have to be the death sentence that it comes out to, right? Understanding that cancer isn't going to be a death sentence, or at least getting into the mindset that you're not going to let cancer destroy you, is really one of the first things that has to happen. It's tough because you end up going through so many different emotions from the time that you were sick, and then starting to figure out what is going on with yourself, and to figure out from that time where you are diagnosed through your first treatment is incredibly scary. There's a lot going on. Things are moving really quick, and then there's also a lot of time going on, and because of this you end up really understanding what that stigma really means. And I have been able to fortunately say at this point that cancer has not been a death sentence for me. I've been very diligent and very strong-willed in how I treat this and how I'm approaching this for really this second experience that I've had. Now, this is the second reoccurrence that I've gone through, but the first one was through my first entire experience, which took about a year. Now, the stigma, once you kind of understand the stigma, and once you start growing and figuring out what it is that you want to accomplish from this experience, that's where the power can really start to change yourself. There's a lot of talk in personal growth going on right now about what is the best thing that you can do for yourself when you feel like you failed at something, and that's to just learn. What did you learn from the experience? What did you gain from it, and how can you share that, right? And cancer is the same way. There's a lot to learn from this, and as your story grows and as your story builds, you can actually share this with other people that really could use a hand and not feeling so alone. And so that's what the stigma is really, really important to talk about. And I've found that it's really important to talk about my story and about everything else also, because there's a lot going on with this. So understanding your stigma, and once you get over that hump of it, and you decide that you're going to do something with this experience and really share, then that kind of helps open up the mindset into this growth mindset, which is the second part of what I wanted to do and talk about, and that is really learning from the experience itself, and turning your mentality, turning your attitude into a growth type of mindset where you are going to learn, you are going to teach, and be someone that might be able to help another person that's going through this. The goal is to incrementally help people along the way so that they can really feel comfortable and also feel like there's someone listening too, because there's just not enough of that going on. And that's why it's really important to really understand and shift that mindset into helping other people, into learning as much as you can about it, and then moving forward to help others outside of it. And that's really where the third thing comes in. And that's just giving, and giving, whether that's your time or giving your knowledge, or both even, of what your experience is telling you. It's tough because when you are going through this, you are trying to deal with so many aspects of the treatment, or even after cancer experiences and survivorship steps that happen along the way. It's important to, I've always felt like it's really important to document and to share this information, because the more people that do it, the better chances are that we can up the statistics that are piled against us for cancer and for survivorship. And the more that I do this, the more I realize that there's just more and more people that need that help. And that's really the whole thing. And that's why I'm sharing my time with you and sharing my knowledge of my experience with everyone out there that wants to listen. And it's become such an important aspect of what I do. It comes back to giving me purpose. It has helped give me meaning. And I feel like I am at the most peaceful place in my life that I have ever been. And I've been through some dark times. I've learned things the hard way, and I wasn't always open, and my mindset was always just fixed and essentially grumpy. And that is really, for me, one of the biggest lessons that cancer has taught me, is that I am alive, and you can still enjoy a wonderful life even though you're going through cancer. There's a lot of things going on right now, and there's a lot of information I'm taking in so that I can help share with you. There's been some studies in the last about 2 years or so that are really starting to come to light, and I've kind of started diving into all this information. And so I will start bringing this to you, because that's the thing about cancer, and that's the thing about feeling good about it and not being ashamed, is taking it to that next level and doing something with the knowledge that you learn as you go through treatment and as you are becoming a survivor and figuring out survivorship, because it's not an easy journey, but you are not alone. So that's the 3 things I wanted to talk about today. So yeah, figure out the stigma, understand what the stigma means, and then apply that to yourself with that open or that growth mindset, because that's really going to help. And 3, give your time and give your knowledge away, because that's really important to help those out there that really need it, that are struggling. And that's the easiest way that I can help you start down this path of just really working towards finding peace in your life, especially as a cancer survivor. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time and energy into watching the movie, or into watching this video. And please feel free to comment below, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. And yeah, thank you, and I will see you on the next video.